Singapore, the new paper, 3 double-decker bunk beds are crammed into a bedroom of the Housing Board (HDB) flat, with clothing hanging haphazardly from the beds and ceiling, and barely any space to move around. These were the claustrophobic conditions that lodgers living in an overcrowded, 4-room flat at Block 403 Pandan Gardens allegedly had to endure. Chinese-language newspaper Xinmin Daily News reported on Wednesday, March 20, that the flat allegedly housed a total of 24 tenants, 4 times the maximum allowed by HDB. The flat's 3 bedrooms housed at least 6 lodgers each, with 8 people living in one of them, and the living room was illegally partitioned into 2 rooms and rented to 2 couples, the newspaper reported. A tenant told Xinmin that to avoid getting caught, the landlords imposed strict rules, barring the lodgers from answering the door, cooking in the flat, and hanging their clothes out to dry. He said, "We have to always keep the windows tightly shut. At night we try not to turn on the lights." Xinmin reported that the tenants were mainly introduced through work agents, and the illegal subletting had gone on for about 4 years. The tenant, who was not named, said there were so many other lodgers, who were on different schedules, that it affected his sleep and his work. He said he has never seen the owner of the flat, and only saw another landlord from time to time. All matters, including rent, were handled by a third person, who also lived in the flat. The new paper understands that HDB is aware of this case. All flat owners have to obtain HDB's approval before renting out their flats or bedrooms. The HDB also sets occupancy caps for flats being rented out, a maximum of 6 people for 3-room and larger flats, and 4 people for smaller flats. Failure to obtain prior approval or observe the maximum number of subtenants allowed is a breach of the HDB lease agreement, and flat owners can be fined or have their flats repossessed. Main subtenants who further sublet the flat can also be barred from renting an HDB flat for 5 years. National Development Minister Lawrence Wong told Parliament in April 2017 that HDB conducts checks and investigations on flats suspected of unauthorized subletting and/or overcrowding based on public feedback, as well as its own random checks. In the 3 years prior to 2017, there were about 70 cases where enforcement action was taken against such errant flat owners.